TV soap news and spoilers say that in the sultry, shadow-laden world of Beyond the Gates, where secrets fester like wounds and alliances shift like sand, the arrival of Vernon at Bill's doorstep marks a pivotal moment in a saga brimming with betrayal, ambition, and raw emotion. The air is thick with tension, the kind that clings to the skin and sets nerves alight, as Vernon, a man burdened by the weight of his choices, seeks aid from an unlikely ally. Could his plea be tied to Leslie, the cunning and divisive figure whose venomous words have already set the stage for chaos? Or is there another, more elusive motive driving him, a quest to find someone, or perhaps to escape the suffocating grip of his own circumstances? To unravel this tale, we must delve deep into the heart of Beyond the Gates, where every glance is a calculation, every word a potential dagger. Leslie's grand ambitions and the seeds of discord. Leslie, a woman whose presence commands attention like a storm rolling over a quiet valley, has never been one to shy away from her desires. Her dreams are grandiose, painted in vivid hues of opulence and power. She speaks often, and with a fervor that borders on obsession, of ascending to the ranks of a black aristocrat, a term she wields with both pride and defiance. In her mind's eye, she envisions a life of unparalleled luxury, sprawling estates adorned with chandeliers that glitter like captured stars, gowns that cascade like liquid silk, and a name that carries weight in every elite circle. Her ambition is not merely a wish but a blazing fire that consumes her, driving her to manipulate and maneuver through the intricate social web of Beyond the Gates. Yet, Leslie's aspirations are not without their shadows. Her relentless pursuit of status has bred resentment, particularly in her interactions with Anita, a woman whose own strength is tempered by a quiet resilience. The tension between them is palpable, a coiled spring ready to snap. Leslie's latest accusation strikes like a thunderbolt. She holds Anita responsible for the tragic death of Barbara, Anita's sister and a beloved figure whose loss still lingers like a ghost in their midst. The claim is not just a barb but a calculated strike, designed to wound and destabilize. Leslie's words drip with sarcasm as she taunts Anita, her voice sharp as a blade. "Does that mean I can call you Aunt Nita?" The mockery is a deliberate provocation, a spark thrown onto dry tinder. Anita, though composed, is not immune to the sting of Leslie's cruelty. The accusation, coupled with the flippant use of their familial ties, pushes her to the edge of her restraint. The room seems to shrink, the air growing heavy with the weight of unspoken grievances. Then, in a moment that crackles with raw emotion, Anita rises, her eyes blazing with a fury she can no longer contain. Her hand arcs through the air, and the sharp sound of her palm meeting Leslie's cheek echoes like a gunshot. The slap is not just a physical act but a release of pent-up anguish, a declaration that Anita will not be broken by Leslie's venom. The fallout, Leslie's play for sympathy. Leslie, ever the opportunist, seizes the moment to cast herself as the victim. Her cheek still stinging from Anita's strike, she spins a narrative of injustice, her voice trembling with feigned indignation. When Vernon arrives, she wastes no time in recounting the incident, painting Anita as an unhinged aggressor. Her performance is masterful, her eyes wide with crocodile tears, her words carefully chosen to elicit sympathy. Vernon, caught in the crosshairs of this domestic storm, listens with a furrowed brow, his expression a mix of concern and suspicion. But Anita is not so easily dismissed. Sickened by Leslie's theatrics and the tangled mess of lies, she retreats into herself, her silence a shield against the chaos. The confrontation has left her shaken, not because of guilt but because of the sheer audacity of Leslie's manipulation. As Vernon leads Leslie to the door, his movements are measured, his demeanor betraying a man wrestling with his own doubts. Is Leslie's story the truth, or is it another thread in the intricate tapestry of deceit she weaves so effortlessly? Vernon's desperate plea to Bill. The stage is set for Vernon's visit to Bill, a man whose reputation as a fixer precedes him. Bill is no stranger to the undercurrents of Beyond the Gates, where power plays and personal vendettas are as common as the humid breezes that sweep through the town. Vernon's arrival at Bill's doorstep is not a casual visit but a mission born of desperation. His face is etched with worry, his shoulders hunched as if carrying the weight of 1,000 unspoken burdens. The question lingers in the air like a storm cloud. What does Vernon want, and why has he turned to Bill? Theories abound among the viewers of Beyond the Gates. Some speculate that Vernon's plea is tied to Leslie herself. Has her relentless ambition and penchant for stirring conflict finally pushed him to the breaking point? Does he seek Bill's help to rein her in, to find a way to neutralize the chaos she sows? Leslie's behavior has certainly made her enemies, and Vernon, as her husband, bears the brunt of her actions. Her accusations against Anita, her taunts, and her unrelenting pursuit of status have created a ripple effect, threatening to destabilize the fragile equilibrium of their social circle. Others wonder if Vernon's motives are more personal. Could he be searching for someone, a figure from his past, perhaps, or someone who holds the key to unraveling the knots in his life? The ambiguity of his request only heightens the suspense, leaving viewers to piece together the fragments of his intentions. Bill, however, is not one to offer aid without conditions. Known for his pragmatism and sharp intellect, he operates with a code of his own. Before he agrees to help Vernon, he lays out his terms, his voice calm but firm, his eyes searching Vernon's for any hint of deception. Bill's conditions and the looming threat to Leslie. Bill's conditions are not mere formalities, they are a gauntlet that Vernon must navigate. Perhaps Bill demands assurances that Vernon's intentions are pure, or maybe he requires something more tangible, a favor, a secret, or a piece of leverage in the ever-shifting power dynamics of Beyond the Gates. The specifics of Bill's demands remain shrouded in mystery, but their weight is undeniable. Vernon, caught between his need for help and the price he must pay, hesitates, his resolve tested by the gravity of the moment. The question of Leslie's fate hangs in the balance. Is she truly in danger, as some speculate, or is Vernon's request a more nuanced attempt to manage her influence? The idea that Vernon might want to get rid of Leslie sends a chill through the narrative. In the world of Beyond the Gates, such a phrase carries ominous implications. It could mean anything from a strategic maneuver to sideline her socially to something far darker, a plot that could alter the course of their lives forever. Leslie, for her part, remains blissfully unaware of the storm gathering around her. Her focus is singular, her ambition unwavering. She moves through the world of Beyond the Gates like a queen in her own mind, oblivious to the enemies she has made or the precariousness of her position. Yet, the cracks in her facade are beginning to show. Her confrontation with Anita has exposed her vulnerability, and Vernon's secretive meeting with Bill suggests that her carefully constructed world may soon come crashing down. The broader tapestry of Beyond the Gates. To fully appreciate the drama unfolding around Vernon, Leslie, and Anita, one must consider the broader tapestry of Beyond the Gates. This is a world where loyalty is a currency, often spent recklessly, and where trust is as fragile as spun glass. The relationships between characters are fraught with hidden motives, and every action ripples outward, affecting allies and adversaries alike. Leslie's ambition, Anita's defiance, Vernon's desperation, and Bill's calculated pragmatism are but threads in a larger weave, each pulling against the others to create a pattern of exquisite tension. The death of Barbara, Anita's sister, looms large over the narrative, a wound that has yet to heal. Leslie's accusation that Anita is responsible for Barbara's demise is not just a personal attack but a strategic move to shift blame and assert dominance. The truth of Barbara's death remains elusive, buried beneath layers of grief and suspicion. Was it an accident, as some claim, or is there a darker truth waiting to be uncovered? The answer may hold the key to understanding Vernon's motives and the true nature of his request to Bill. The stakes and the suspense. As the story progresses, the stakes grow ever higher. Vernon's visit to Bill is a turning point, a moment where the trajectory of Beyond the Gates could shift dramatically. Will Bill agree to help, and if so, at what cost? Will Leslie's schemes unravel, leaving her exposed to the consequences of her actions? And what of Anita, whose quiet strength belies the pain she carries? The slap she delivered to Leslie was a moment of catharsis, but it may also have set in motion events she cannot control. The suspense is palpable, a living thing that pulses through every scene. Viewers are left to ponder the myriad possibilities. Is Vernon a man driven by love, seeking to protect his wife from her own recklessness, or is he a man pushed to the edge, ready to betray her to save himself? Is Bill a savior or a schemer, offering help only to advance his own agenda? And what of Leslie, whose ambition blinds her to the dangers closing in around her? A world on the brink. Beyond the Gates thrives on its ability to keep viewers guessing, to dangle answers just out of reach. The story of Vernon, Leslie, Anita, and Bill is a microcosm of the larger narrative, a tale of power, betrayal, and the fragile bonds that hold people together or tear them apart. As Vernon stands at Bill's doorstep, his heart heavy with unspoken fears, the future of Beyond the Gates hangs in the balance. Will Leslie's dreams of aristocracy come to fruition, or will they crumble under the weight of her own hubris? Will Anita find peace, or will her defiance ignite further conflict? And will Vernon find the help he seeks, or will his plea lead him deeper into a web from which there is no escape? We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV soap news and spoilers for more updates on Beyond the Gates.